In nearly 20 years of competitive FIFA, EA has never done this. Let me take you on a ride down memory lane. The FIFA Interactive World Cup started in 2004, which was the official tournament to crown the best FIFA player in the world, which at that time was the only way to claim FIFA stardom. And just for reference, if you won the FIFA Interactive World Cup, you would see yourself at the Ballon d'Or, and typically the prize pool was $20,000. So back in the day, there were no pro players comparatively to what we have present time. And in the same era, the same vein, we also had a set of events called the World Cyber Games. The World Cyber Games laid the groundwork for some of the future of esports. But unless you're an esports connoisseur, it's likely you've never heard of WCG. Players from different nations would gather together at international events and compete individually in their titles, but as a nation, almost comparatively to the Olympics of esports. Not only did this crown individualism, but it also brought in a team aspect to see which nation was the most well-rounded in terms of esports competition. They also win the award for perhaps the cheesiest theme song of all time.
Beyond the game, in the shadow of the golden gates, we have come to decide our fate. We're here to celebrate beyond the game.
Where is my story in this? I started competing back in 2006 and 2007 with a passion for the sport and an undeniable talent in the game. I seized the opportunity and I was looking everywhere online. Were there tournaments? Are there events? Ladders? I don't even know if we had Reddit. I've witnessed firsthand every hurdle when it comes to competitive FIFA. Upswings, downswings, prize pools you couldn't imagine, and not in a good way. I'll never forget winning an event in 2008, where I had to fly to Los Angeles in order to compete in the FIFA Interactive World Cup. I won that event. I walked away with a free PlayStation. I qualified for the World Finals, but I lost money winning the event due to accommodations, flying to Los Angeles, and just the essentials. Later that year, at the World Finals, I witnessed the beginning of Alfonso Ramos. Who was able to win the FIFA Interactive World Cup in 2008 and 2012 and qualify for 7 World Finals. 2009, Bruce Granick. If you followed the competitive scene, you're well aware. That was the beginning of a rivalry. FIFA 13, you might know Ivan Lapagna, Boris Legend. This was his rookie season, winning the Virgin Gaming World Finals, where the prize pool was just over $150,000, $160,000. The biggest prize pool we've ever had at that point. And the tournaments, the structure, live streaming, forget about it. I was backtracking, looking through the history books. There's information available. There's some sketchy videos, suspect quality. But if you want to relive or truly find a recollection of competitive history, there's not a one-stop shop for all of that information. Even for my own personal career, to solely competing, to then going into content creation, learning YouTube and editing and being able to speak in front of a camera. And I was far from being a natural. It was a rough beginning. And we saw the announcement, FIFA 17, Foot Champs, Weekend League, competitive play went official. EA, a developer backing the competitive scene. You couldn't imagine the previous decade where as a competitive player, you had no influence, you didn't know a qualification process, you weren't even sure there would be events. From FIFA 17 onward, we now had an official competitive calendar, which allowed for brands and partnerships. These past 6 years, and by no means am I saying that they've been perfect, you've seen progression and growth of a culture. Before FIFA 17, most of you watching didn't even know that there were competitive events. There was competitive history for more than a decade at that. And most of you have seen me transition into doing on camera and hosting and analyzing, pinpointing, being animated, sharing my passion with the world. In nearly 20 years of competitive history, we have never seen this. Every single 5 at the back and 3 at the back formation will be no more, at least when we're talking about competitive play. Admittedly, on the record, I've never been a fan of parking the bus.
Stop it. Get some help.
I've never been a fan of a 5 at the back But I did not expect EA to introduce with FC Pro an official ruling that eliminated 1/3 of formations from FC 24. What does this mean? In theory, I would say that EA is pushing more for entertainment, less holding the ball, less possession play, and also the next step in progressing or building an esport. Because let's be clear, very transparent. The best esports have larger skill gap. They have specific rules and guidelines for the esport, not the macro, not the everyday consumer, not the casual player. This might only be a first step, but it's EA looking to pivot or adjust when it comes to at least the competitive ecosystem. With that being said, we need another patch. We need some updates. We need some shifts. The gameplay as it stands feels incomplete. I'd love to know your thoughts on what would make competitive FC Pro most interesting. We all love the sport. We invest in the game every single year. We grind, we build, we commit, we watch, we comment, we like, we create, we produce, we have back and forth. Our investment, it's noticeable. We clearly care. I look forward to your comments. If you found this video interesting, intriguing, make sure to drop a like, share it around the community. There will be more content on screen as per usual, and I'll have a lot more coming out ASAP.